At a family dinner, my brother-in-law slid me a napkin with a drawing of a pig. "This is you after seconds," he whispered. My husband saw it, laughed, and said, "Come on, it's a joke." I sat there, swallowing my food with tears in my eyes. 2 months later, at his birthday party, I returned the favor, with a mic in hand, a crowd watching, and a story so precise that half the guests got up and left before dessert.
Hi.
I'm 39, married for 8 years. I live in Roanoke, Virginia. I never thought I'd write something like this, but here I am. I always thought I was the type to let things slide. Let people have their little jokes.
Keep the peace.
Keep the family happy. I've always been the one who smiles even when it stings. I don't like drama. I don't like attention. I never wanted to be the person with a story that ends with a crowd walking out. But it happened, and they had it coming. So here's what really went down. My sister Jenny hosts family dinners once a month. Her husband, Ray, does this thing where he tries to be the funny guy of the group. He's one of those people who thinks being mean is funny if you do it with a smile. He's loud, crass, and always has some comment that rides the edge of being cruel. People laugh because it's easier than saying something. I used to laugh too sometimes. Not anymore. It was a Sunday in March. The weather was just starting to warm up. Jenny had everyone over. Our parents, her 2 boys, Ray, me, and my husband Travis. She made a roast. I brought my chicken tetrazzini. Everyone piled their plates like usual. I waited until most people had gone up, then got my serving. Later, I went back for seconds. That's when it happened. Ray leaned toward me and slid a folded napkin under my elbow, like he was passing me some secret note. I thought maybe he wanted to say something funny about the food or complain about Jenny. So I opened it. It was a drawing. A pig. Big round belly, curly tail, snout. It looked like it was drawn by a middle schooler. Under it, he'd written in block letters, "This is you after seconds." I stared at it for a second. I couldn't even understand what I was looking at first. Then it hit me. He was calling me a pig. For getting more food. At dinner. With my family. I felt my face go hot. I looked at Ray. He just smirked. He actually whispered, "Don't be mad. It's just a joke." I wanted to say something, but my throat closed up. I looked at Travis, hoping he'd see my face. He glanced down at the napkin, snorted, and said out loud, "Come on, babe. It's a joke." Nobody else saw it. Everyone was eating and chatting. I sat there, holding a forkful of chicken like it had turned to lead. I chewed, swallowed, and didn't taste a single bite after that. No one asked if I was okay. No one noticed that I didn't say another word the rest of the night. When we got home, I said something to Travis. I asked him why he laughed. He shrugged and said, "It wasn't serious. He's just being Ray." That was all. So I stopped talking about it. I stopped talking about a lot of things after that. But I didn't forget. 2 months went by. In that time, I started going to therapy again. I journaled. I thought about what had happened. I remembered all the times Ray made comments about my weight, about how Travis never said anything, about the time 2 years ago when I wore a sleeveless dress and Travis told me, maybe bring a cardigan just in case. I realized something. I was done being the quiet one. Then Travis's 42nd birthday rolled around. He wanted a party. Big one. Our backyard. Friends, family, co-workers. I offered to plan it. He said yes, happy as ever. So I planned the hell out of it. We rented chairs, lights, and a portable bar. I hired a small catering company. I even got a DJ. I picked a nice cake from a local bakery, chocolate with espresso frosting. Everyone RSVP'd, including Ray and Jenny. While I was ordering linens and organizing drink tickets, I was also writing something else. A speech. The day of the party, everything looked perfect. Weather held. Lights looked great. Food smelled amazing. Everyone mingled, laughing, eating, drinking. I waited. Waited for Travis to get a few beers in. Waited for Ray to get comfortable. Then I tapped my glass. "Hey everyone," I said, holding the mic. "Travis wants to say a few words, but I'm stealing the mic for just a minute first."
People laughed.
Travis gave me a "what are you doing" look. I smiled sweetly. I just wanted to tell a little story. I paused. 2 months ago, I was sitting at dinner with my family. Someone at the table passed me a napkin. On it was a drawing of a pig. A pig with big round cheeks and a curly tail. It said, "This is you after seconds." There was a shift in the air. I looked at Ray. His face changed immediately. I looked at Travis. He looked panicked. I sat there. I swallowed my food. I smiled. And I said nothing. Because that's what I've always done.
People were looking around now.
Some stopped chewing. But I kept the napkin. I framed it, actually. It's in my office. A reminder of how people will treat you if you keep letting them. I looked at Travis. I didn't look away. And I remember looking at my husband, the man who's supposed to protect me, love me,
Support me.
and all he did was laugh.
Gasps. No joke.
I kept going. Ray, thanks for your art. It was a masterpiece of cruelty. But you gave me something better than a joke. You gave me a turning point. I looked around the crowd. To the women here who've been laughed at, whispered about, made to feel less than, don't let them do it. Don't laugh with them just to keep peace. There was a silence you could chew through. Ray stood up and walked straight out. Jenny followed. 3 of Travis's co-workers left too. One guy clapped. I didn't stay to cut the cake. After the party, things didn't calm down. They exploded. I stayed inside while people quietly shuffled out. Some wouldn't look at me. Others gave me half nods, like they wanted to say something but didn't know how. Travis didn't speak to me at all that night. Not a word. When the last car pulled out of the driveway, he finally turned to me. "What the hell was that?" he asked. I just stared at him. It was the truth. He looked like he didn't know whether to yell or walk out. "You humiliated me," he said. "In front of my boss. In front of our friends." I laughed. I couldn't help it.
Good.
"Now we're even." He shook his head. "No, we're not. You embarrassed me over a joke." I stepped closer. A joke that made me cry for 3 days. A joke that made me question why I ever married someone who thinks that kind of cruelty is funny. He opened his mouth, then closed it. He didn't have anything. Nothing that would make it okay. The next morning, Jenny texted me. "You didn't have to go that far. Ray was just joking. You made it so awkward for everyone." I didn't reply. She called. I sent it to voicemail. Then came the Facebook messages. From a couple of cousins, one of Travis's aunts, even one of the neighbors who'd been at the party. Some were angry. Some said they were proud of me. Then I got a message from someone unexpected. Travis's coworker, Alana.
Hey.
"I just wanted to say, what you did was brave. And overdue. I've heard the way Travis talks about you at work sometimes. It's not okay. I'm sorry." I stared at that message for a long time. A week went by. Travis stayed cold. He slept in the guest room. He didn't bring up the party again, but the distance between us felt like a canyon. Every night I waited, thinking maybe he'd come in, sit down, say something honest. But he never did. Then one afternoon, I came home from the grocery store and found his phone open on the kitchen counter. I know I shouldn't have looked, but I did. There were texts between him and Ray. A lot of them. Right after the party. "Ray, she's losing it. What a psycho move." Travis. "I know. I can't even look at her. She planned the whole thing just to F*** with me." Ray. "You should have known better. She's always been soft." Travis. "Yeah, but I thought I had her under control." My hand shook as I scrolled. I felt sick. Then I saw another thread. With someone named Bree. I didn't know any Bree. The texts were worse.
Flirty. Dirty.
Ongoing for at least 6 months.
Pictures.
Late night miss you messages. One even from the night of the party. Bree. "Wish I was there instead of watching this on your story, lol. You looked good." Travis. "Miss you too. Soon." My chest went tight. I sat on the kitchen stool and just stared at the screen. It was like my whole marriage had been a play, and I'd been the audience. And I finally saw the script. I didn't confront him right away. I needed to think. Instead, I screen recorded everything. Every message. Every picture. I uploaded them to a private folder. Sent them to my own email. Just in case. Then I called my sister.
I don't know why.
Maybe I thought if I told her about the cheating, about the way they talked about me like I was some dumb, fat idiot they had to manage, maybe she'd understand. She didn't. I kept my voice steady on the phone. Told her about the texts with Ray. Told her what Travis said.
Told her about Bree.
She went quiet for a second, then let out a sharp breath. You shouldn't have been looking through his phone. That's messed up. That was her first response. Not, are you okay? Not, I'm sorry. She followed up with, if you air out more of this crap, you're going to ruin the whole family. I laughed bitterly. The family's already ruined, Jen. You just didn't notice because it wasn't happening to you. She hung up on me. The next few days, I went quiet again, but not in the same way. This was different. I started talking to a lawyer. A quiet, sharp woman named Alice who told me everything I needed to hear. She walked me through options. The house, our accounts, the cars. The texts and infidelity. They'd help. Especially in Virginia. I also talked to my boss, told her I might need time off. She offered me work from home flexibility and told me to make a plan, not just a scene. Those words stuck with me. So I made one. Then came the twist I didn't see coming. I was at a local pharmacy picking up a refill when I ran into Bree. I didn't know it was her at first. I just saw a tall woman with long dark hair waiting at the checkout with a little bag of cosmetics. She looked familiar. I got behind her in line. She glanced at me once. Then again.
Her face changed.
You're Travis's wife, aren't you? I didn't answer. I just stared. I didn't know he was still with you. I blinked. Still. She looked around like she didn't want a scene. I thought you guys had separated. That's what he told me. My throat tightened. How long have you two been talking? She hesitated. Since last summer. Like 10 months. My stomach flipped. She kept talking. He said you were cold. That you didn't want to be touched. That you were obsessed with your weight. Wouldn't go anywhere with him. I clenched my jaw. And you believed him? She shrugged. I'm not proud of it. Honestly, I thought he was divorced. I stepped closer, low voice. He told you I was cold? Did he also mention he laughed while his brother-in-law called me a pig in front of my entire family? She stared at me.
No.
He didn't mention that. Then she did something I didn't expect. She looked genuinely angry.
But not at me.
She said, I'm sorry. I really didn't know. If you want screenshots, I can send them to you. I still have everything. 2 hours later, I had it all. Photos, texts, call logs. Even a voicemail from Travis saying, I'm sick of her voice. She sounds like a nagging mom all the time. Everything I needed. Everything I didn't want to believe but finally had in my hands. I stared at my laptop screen that night. Bree's files open in one window, my own screen captures in another. Then I opened PowerPoint. I had a plan. Not just for him, but for all of them. I spent the next week preparing. No one knew what I was planning. Not Travis, not Jenny, not anyone in the family. I played nice at home. I made dinner. I washed clothes. I didn't say a word about the texts, the cheating, the phone call with Bree. I didn't show any signs. But every night, after Travis fell asleep in the guest room, I worked on the PowerPoint. Slide after slide. Screenshots.
Dates.
Photos. Quotes from the texts. Side-by-side comparisons of what Travis told me and what he told Bree. A whole section dedicated to Ray's jokes. Another section on what Jenny said to me after I told her the truth. And one final slide. A picture of the napkin. Framed. Underneath it I wrote, this was never a joke. It was a warning. Then I sent out invitations. I didn't call it a party. I said it was a family appreciation night. Something different. Casual. No pressure. Travis thought it was an attempt to smooth things over. To save face after the meltdown. He smiled when I mentioned it. Good, he said. We need to fix your image after that disaster. Fix my image. I wanted to throw something at him right then. Instead, I smiled.
Yeah.
We do. That Saturday, people started arriving just before 6. Jenny and Ray showed up first, carrying a pie like nothing had happened. My parents came next. Then Travis's coworkers, his cousin, a couple of neighbors. I set up chairs, facing the big flat screen in the living room. Travis sat in front, beer in hand. Let's get this over with, he muttered, half laughing. I walked up and turned off the lights. Thank you all for coming, I said. This isn't a party. It's not a celebration. It's not even about family anymore. It's a reckoning.
Click.
First slide. It started quiet. Just some text on a black screen. You don't get to humiliate people and walk away clean. Next slide, the napkin. Big and centered. Ray shifted. Oh, come on. Again?
Click.
Then came the texts. The ones between Ray and Travis. Their private jokes about me. About my weight. My looks. How I was soft, clingy, insecure. People started whispering. One of Travis's coworkers put his beer down and leaned forward.
Click.
Now came Bree. Texts, photos, dates, timelines. Travis squirmed. His face turned pale. What is this? He hissed. I ignored him.
Click.
Voicemail from Bree. The one where Travis said I sounded like a nagging mom. I turned the volume up. Everyone heard it. Travis stood. Turn it off. I kept going. Sit down, I said. He didn't. So I stared him down until he did.
Click.
Next slide. Jenny's text. The one where she said I was ruining the family. I read it out loud. Jenny stood too. This is ridiculous. I turned to her. No. What's ridiculous is letting your husband bully your sister at the dinner table and defending it like it's some sitcom joke.
Click.
Final slide. The framed napkin. Then I walked to the middle of the room and pulled out the real thing in a plain black frame. This is what started it. One drawing. One joke. One moment that showed me everything I needed to know. I turned to Travis. I gave you chances. I let so much go. I blamed myself for years. I stayed quiet. I tried to be smaller so you'd love me more. But all you saw was someone you could control. Ray stood up. This is insane. I turned to him. You humiliated me. You started this. And I hope your kids grow up to see how you treat women so they know what not to be.
He didn't respond. He left.
Jenny followed, yelling my name. I didn't stop her. Then I turned to Travis, one last time. You don't live here anymore. He blinked. You're kicking me out? I already did. Yesterday. Your stuff's at a storage unit. I changed the locks. Served you papers. Happy birthday, by the way. Dead silence. Someone clapped. It was Alana, his coworker. Then another person clapped. And another. People started leaving. Not quietly. Not quickly. No one asked for cake. The next day, my lawyer filed the divorce formally. Travis tried to call. I didn't answer. He showed up once. I didn't open the door. A week later, I saw on Facebook that he'd moved in with someone. Probably Bree. She deleted all her photos of him 2 months later. Jenny stopped speaking to me. Ray unfriended me. No loss there. But here's the truth. I don't regret it. Not a second. People ask me if it was worth the mess. If revenge helped. It didn't fix what happened. But it made sure they never forgot it.
And neither will I.